7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my dear student, welcome back with me, Miss Putri. Hello, how are you today? I hope you fine and you can enjoying studying with me today. So, my dear student, this time you will learn with me about a text. Do you know what text we will learn on this occasion? Well, I will give you a clue. This text aims to convince the listener or reader that something is happening and we are required to express our opinion, but must not incite the reader to agree with our opinion. So, this text is sifatnya adalah subjektif. Kita tidak boleh memberikan pendapat yang bersifat objektif dalam teks yang kita tulis berdasarkan kejadian yang ada di sekitar kita. Nah, melalui clue yang Miss berikan tadi, kira-kira can you guess what text we will learn this occasion? Okay, my dear student, before you continue this video, I suggest you to pause this video and write your answer in the comment section. After writing your answer, you can play this video and check if your answer is correct or not. Did any of you answer correctly what text we will studying this time? If any of you answer Analytical Exposition text, congratulations! Your answer is correct. Well, my dear students, for the next few minutes, we will learn together what Analytical Exposition text is. So, before we discuss further what is Analytical Exposition text, I will explain the definition of the Analytical Exposition text itself. So, an analytical exposition text is a type of text that's spoken or written text intended to persuade the listener or readers that something is the case. To strengthen the persuasion, the speaker or writer gives some arguments as the fundamental reason why something is the case. So, kalian dapat menambahkan pendapat para ahli ataupun berita-berita yang memperkuat pendapat yang kalian kemukakan dalam teks ini, sehingga teks ini bersifat objektif, tidak hanya subjektif berdasarkan pandangan kalian saja. Okay? Okay, my dear students, let's take a look about this news. Okay, so this news is about what happens if the Arctic keeps melting. What do you think about this issue. Okay? Try to express your opinion and write down your answer in the comment column, and please give your reasons about this issue. What the reason the Arctic keeps melting? And what's your argument if the Arctic keeps melting in the future? Okay, next. Okay, my dear students, you have finished writing your brave opinion on the issue. Let's move to the next part. Okay, my dear students, as you can see on the screen, the learning objective about our material today is students are able to write analytical exposition text related to phenomena around us in English with varied sentences and accurate information by paying attention to social function, text structure, and linguistic elements. Okay, my dear students, let's take a look about this. In this occasion, we will learn about analytical exposition text and analytical exposition text itself, and the part of our material design is the first, the definition of analytical exposition text. The second is social function of analytical exposition text. The third is about generic structure, analytical exposition text. And the fourth is the language feature about analytical exposition text. And last, I will give you some example about analytical exposition text. My dear students, remember the analytical exposition text is a text that elaborates the writer's idea about the phenomenon surrounding us. So, we elaborate our opinion, our argument about some issue, and we can write it. Okay, what the purpose of this text? What the purpose of analytical exposition text? So, the analytical exposition text is to persuade by presenting arguments. Jadi, analytical exposition text ini adalah teks yang sifatnya membujuk para pembaca ataupun pendengar dengan mengungkapkan pendapat kita, opinion kita, argumen yang kita tampilkan di teks milik kita. Okay, and the second purpose is to analyze or explain how and why this issue can happen. Bagaimana sebuah fenomena bisa terjadi? Apa yang menyebabkan fenomena ini bisa terjadi? Kita bisa menuliskannya di dalam teks yang kita buat. Okay, my dear students, let's move on the generic structure of analytical exposition text. So, the analytical exposition text itself has three parts of the structure. The first is thesis. The thesis introduces the topics and indicates the writer's point of view. The example of this is so I will give you some example, and the title about this thesis is The Importance of Reading. So, if the title is The Importance of Readings, what kind of thesis can we write in this section? Okay, I will give you some example. Like, I personally think that reading is an important activity in our life. Why do I say so? Okay, and the second structure is arguments. Arguments explain the argument to support the writer's opinions, the writer's position, or the writer's argument. The number of arguments may vary, but its arguments must be supported by evidence and explanation. So, di dalam sebuah argumen, di dalam sebuah opinion harus didukung dengan supporting idea, paragraf mendukung pernyataan kita seperti pernyataan para ahli ataupun pernyataan dari sumber yang terpercaya untuk mendukung pendapat yang kita ungkapkan dalam teks yang kita buat. Like the example. Firstly, by reading, we can get a lot of information about many things in the world, such as science, technology, sport, arts, and culture. Secondly, by reading, we can get a lot of news and knowledge about something happening in any part of the world, which we can see directly. Thirdly, reading can give us pleasure. When we are tired, we can read books, newspapers, or magazine on the entertainment column, such as short story, comedies, or quiz to make us relax. Fourthly, reading can also take us to other parts of the world. By reading a book, we may feel that we are really sitting in the jungles in the other place that is not at our home. Okay, the last structure is reiteration. Reiteration is restating the writer's point of view or to strengthen the thesis. We can use the following phrases to make conclusion in reiteration. So, reiteration adalah menegaskan ulang pendapat kita yang telah kita ungkapkan di bagian pertama paragraf di thesis yang telah kita buat. Nah, untuk menegaskan sentence yang telah kita tampilkan di atas, kita bisa menuliskannya di bagian reiteration. Like the example, based on the fact above, it's obvious that everyone needs to read books, newspaper, magazine, or others to get knowledge, news, information, and also entertainment. In other words, we can say reading is truly important in our life. So we can say that reiteration in this section is we can say reading is truly important in our life. Nah, ini adalah penegasan ulang pendapat kita untuk tesis yang telah kita buat sebelumnya. Okay, my dear students, let's move on the next part. Okay, now we will discuss about the language feature of analytical exposition text. The first language feature is use of simple present tense. So, the simple present tense is used to express habits, general truth, repeated action or unchanging situation, emotion, and wishes. And simple present tense ditandai dengan penggunaan verb one. Verb one atau yang bisa kita bilang adalah verb base, ada verb dasar. Seperti walk, eat, drink, it's a verb base. Okay, let's take a look on this example. Okay, it is a analytical exposition text and the title is Why Books Are Important for Us. Okay, let's try to analyze this. Okay, I will help you to find two simple present tense dan sisanya kalian bisa cari sendiri. And please write down your answer in the column comment. So, in this text, the simple present is I personally think that reading is very important activity in our life. Polanya adalah subject plus verb one plus object. I personally think. Subject plus is, are plus adjective. Reading is a very important activity in our life. And why do I say so? Ini juga termasuk dalam simple present tense. Karena ditandai dengan penggunaan subject and verb one. Okay, let's guess. Where is the simple present tense in the first argument? Right. Firstly, by reading, we can get a lot of knowledge. It's a subject plus verb one and plus object. Okay? Okay. For the next simple present, please find by yourself and write down your answer in the comment column. And the second language feature of analytical exposition text is use of relational process or linking verb. So, linking verb adalah jenis kata kerja penghubung yang menghubungkan subjek dengan complement yang menerangkannya. Bisa noun complement ataupun adjective complement dan sering digunakan untuk menggantikan to be dan punya keterkaitan dengan sesuatu yang berhubungan dengan panca indera. Like the example, look, sound, smell, feel, or taste. Atau keadaan. Contohnya, appear, seem, become, grow, turn, prove, remain, keep, stay, go, and run. Okay, my dear students, did you understand the second language feature of analytical exposition text? If you understood, please find the linking verb on this text and write down your answer in the comment column. Okay, my dear student, did you understand? Okay, if you understand, let's move on the next part. Okay, let's move on the next part. Okay, my dear students, and the third biggest feature of analytical exposition text is use of internal conjunction. The example of internal conjunction like firstly, secondly, next, finally, thirdly, and etc. Okay, please find out the internal conjunction of this text. Okay, let's move on the next language feature of analytical expression text. The fourth is use of causal conjunction. Okay, you can see on the screen. This is the example of causal conjunction. The first is because, since, even though, as, now that, so, yet, accordingly, consequently, therefore, hence, and as a result. Okay, my dear students, please find out the causal conjunction of this text. You can write down your answer on the comment column. Okay, my dear students, before we move on to another example of an analytical exposition text, please do the following short quiz to test your understanding of the explanation that I have explained earlier. Okay, my students, to take this quiz, you don't need to create an account or anything like that. I will make it easy for you to do it. You only need to scan this barcode and you will be directed to the quizzes page. And after that, you only need to write your name like that. And please remember to write your full name so I can record it in the grade book. And you can immediately do this quiz. And remember, each quiz has a time limit in working on it, so be careful not to miss it. Okay, my students, have you finished your quiz? How is the result? Is it good? If you can answer all the questions that I gave correctly, then you have really paid attention to the material that I gave this time. However, If there are still some who answer incorrectly, that's okay. You can try again and listen to my explanation again so you can answer your quiz correctly. Okay, my dear students, after you do some short quiz, let's take a look of this example about analytical exposition text. The title of this text is Homeschooling. Here I give you the notes about the title. This is argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, and the conclusion, or we can say reiteration. You can read the following text here, like the homeschooling is the title. The thesis is, I don't think that a homeschooling system is the best education system to use. And the first argument is, learning aspect in school is not only how to understand the material or the content of a subject, but also how to experience directly what happens in my surroundings. And the second argument is, the aspect of the learning process also needed a good socialization of the children. And the third argument is, finally, one-to-one learning that is applied in a homeschooling program doesn't guarantee that the children have a good development to face their real future. And the conclusion of this text is, the standards of learning and the systems make students not educationally successful. The system just likes a controller of the student's development. It shows that it's not the best way to teach or educate children. So the writer conclusion the text that the system of homeschooling is control the children. It shows that it's not the best way to teach or educate children by homeschooling. Did you understand, my dear students? Okay, if you understand, let's take a look on this video. Please pay attention about this news.
We're outside of the NCAA Women's Championships in Atlanta, Georgia. It's day 2 and the prelim session of the 500 freestyle just wrapped up, and University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas is seated first in the event, headed into finals. We talked to 3 women from Save Women's Sports who are protesting outside of the competition.
We are all here with Save Women's Sports. We are here in support of Beth Stelzer, who founded Save Women's Sports on the basis of women's sex and keeping sports single sex to protect women and girls' safety and boundaries and right to privacy and fairness in sports.
The 3 women provided us with their stance on the issues and talked to us extensively about why they're here, what they hope to achieve by protesting this swim meet, and how they foresee their work going forward. None of the women that we spoke to had any direct experience with the sport of swimming, but still used their own resources to travel all the way to Atlanta from all over the country.
We've all been active on this issue
End of 2014.
even before women's sports became an organization.
Right.
We've been speaking out for women and girls.
Right. We're feminists that care about what happens to women and girls. That's why we're here with Save Women's Sports.
I definitely am against what is happening with a man being in the pool, but I also was here to show women my support. You know, these women have attempted, the girls that are specifically on the team with Thomas have tried to speak out. They've been silenced by their school. They've had a media blackout on them, whereas Thomas has had covers of magazines.
I propose the women compete with the women and the men compete with the men. So if you're a trans woman, you would compete with the men because you're a man.
Throughout the interview, the three women constantly misgendered Thomas, in addition to spreading misinformation and disinformation surrounding transgender policies.
We're trying to educate people. We've got some brochures.
Having conversations.
I would say 98% of the people have thanked us for being here, for standing up for women.
98% of everyone being here?
Well, anybody who's walked by has thanked us, yes.
Have you received any other feedback from people?
Yeah, I had one woman that said she didn't agree.
The propaganda behind this movement has been really effective, specifically the use of the term inclusivity. However, I think that those who are going along with it, you know, they're compassionate people. They want to be nice. But the fact of the matter is that term inclusivity comes at the direct expense of women being able to have boundaries around our bodies. It comes at the direct expense of women being able to say no to men in our spaces and sports. You know, women deserve to have the boundaries around our bodies respected. You know, that's what I grew up learning, and that's what I want to pass on to future generations. I want a little girl to be able to say no. You know, I want her to be able to trust her own eyes and ears and trust her physical senses. You know, I know a man when I see one. That is my own basic sense perception. And I should be able to say no to any man. It doesn't matter what he claims he makes about himself. If I see a man, I should be able to say no. I want boundaries around my physical body, and you do not belong in my space. And that's what we want to pass on.
I'm trying to give a counter narrative to this very negative space that is a little bit sort of dog whistling. They're not necessarily actually acting in good faith and having the conversations that really actually matter, and instead they use these talking points about fairness to create environments of exclusion without really concern for data, for the fact that a lot of their arguments are entirely anecdotal. And then they talk about contradictory things, have contradictory mentality of both where biological essentialism happens and where womanhood, whether femaleness stops.
Please don't push me. Please don't push me. I'm gonna move away from you. Please don't push me.
So we're just here trying to actually provide a counter narrative to this. Because, you know, at Georgia Tech, we are a progressive school. We have a progressive student body, and we support, as I said,
in the backpack.
we support sort of. We want to just again be here in support for Leah Thomas, for Isaac Henning. We want to support all trans athletes. Despite the chaos, which is as a queer trans person is a little bit tough to deal with, especially since I originally started here on my own and was cornered by a lot of folks.
Did you have any concerns about Georgia Tech hosting this meet?
Personally, I have no concerns. I grew up in Georgia doing varsity swimming here. I've swam and competed at the Georgia Tech pool. It's a wonderful facility. I also know that the NCAA has been very secure and very supportive of their trans athletes today, which I really appreciate. I do have slight concern about sort of the message, as I said, that Georgia Tech isn't a welcoming place. When folks are seeing outsiders from off campus spreading hateful, transphobic messages.
Why do you hate women and girls? Why do you hate fair sport for women and girls?
I don't hate fair sports, but we need to discuss about fairness. What is a woman?
What is a woman? What is a girl?
We play
it is a
sports with our bodies or our feelings.
I actually am not going, again, I don't necessarily want to like engage in these like conversations, so I'm having other conversations.
You don't want to engage about what is a male and what is a female when the entire reason both you and we are here is over that issue? So why did you come here if you don't want to engage about it?
Because I'm not trying to engage with you. What I'm trying to do is provide a counter narrative for the people.
When you were yelling at us.
First of all, I came here, sat here with my sign. I had no plans to engage with y'all, but then you had 4 or 5 of your group immediately walk up to me and then start going and trying to have these arguments.
No, we tried to tell you that you're mischaracterizing this by calling it hate.
Alright, my dear students, have you finished watching the news? What do you think about this news? Please write your opinion according to the structure that I have explained earlier. You can answer it in the following link. Remember, the deadline for this assignment is the next July 15. So be careful not to be late submitting it. Okay? Good luck, my dear students. Okay, my dear students, to write this analytical exposition text, please prepare the text carefully because I will only give it 15 minutes to work on its structure in the text. So be careful and do well. And please give at least 3 of your arguments when writing an analytical exposition text based on the news I give. Okay, my dear students, have a great time and good luck. Well, let's summarize what we have learned this time. So, today we learned about analytical exposition text. Did you remember what is analytical exposition text? Yeah, analytical exposition text is text that elaborate the writer's idea about the phenomenon surrounding us. And what's the purpose of this text? Yes, this text is to persuade by presenting arguments and analyze or explain how and why the phenomenon can happen. And how many structures does the analytical exposition text have? Right, 3. Okay, so the first is thesis, and the second is argument, and the third is reiteration or conclusion. Okay, and how many language features that the analytical exposition text have? Right, 4. The first is use of simple present tense, and the second use of relational process or linking verb, and the third is use of internal conjunction, and the last, yes, use of causal conjunction. And I have also given several examples of analytical exposition text, and we have also learned how to analyze an analytical exposition text. So I hope that later you can write good analytical exposition text. Alright, my dear students, with that the material that I gave this time ends. I hope this is useful for those of you who watch this. See you next time and goodbye. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.